Today I'm doing a drawception, an illustration inception. I'm redrawing POPCROSS's redrawing of someone else's drawing. You get the idea. Let's get into it. Like I said, this is a redrawing of a redrawing. POPCROSS usually releases a monthly community redraw, where he asks for various types of characters or designs that will relate to his videos. One of these community redraws was for people to submit their designs for the 7 different Demon Archons that were coming to Multiverse Tales. The Demon Archons are one of the biggest threats in the Multiverse Tales series, because they were basically the beings tasked to create the various worlds of the multiverse by the Demiurge. The Demiurge is a being we don't know much about, other than that they created the Archon entities. But it was Fear herself who wanted to give the Demon Archons physical forms so that they could further her own sense of morals onto the various worlds. Fear found out pretty quickly that the Demon Archons did not align with her morals, and would rather just create chaos and destruction, instead of weeding out the individuals who Fear would consider had the right to live. No life was sacred to the Archons. Eldrorrok even called them playthings. I drew 4 of the 7 Archons in my last series, but I failed to mention their original artist's contribution, so that one's on me, and I'll add their information to each of the descriptions of those videos. But yes, 7 artists created the various Archon designs that you now see in the Multiverse Tales, including Uniform Banjo's creepy design for Eldrorrok. The 7 Archons also embody different genres of fiction like medieval fantasy, sci-fi. For Eldrorrok, he is the embodiment of horror. He is also known as the Red Archon, and the leader of all his other Archons, the only one being able to communicate with the Demiurge, and making the heroes suspect he is the most powerful of the bunch. However, through various episodes of Multiverse Tales, we've barely scratched the surface of what Eldrorrok can do, and there have been several circumstances that make others question just how powerful Eldrorrok really is. Tarsa solidified her place as the biggest threat when it was revealed that the Archons hate her as well. She had the agreement that the Archons would make for her an item of mass power that could basically do what the Archons do: manipulate the worlds around them, create creatures, and make the wielder extremely formidable, aka the Multiversal Orb. In exchange, Tarsa would use the Multiversal Orb to create bodies for the Archons so that they could manipulate and interact with the worlds that they had created in the past. But Tarsa, being who she is, betrayed the Archons and took the orb for herself. Only through the events of Mytholethal do we see a satisfying takedown of Tarsa, at least for the time being. Through the Summoner Beasts storyline, the Demon Archon Cypheremoth was taken to where Tarsa was being held prisoner, to exact her revenge, when the script flipped and Tarsa killed Cypheremoth, taking her powers in the process. Tarsa had a contingency that if the Archons were ever created by the Multiversal Orb, she would be one of the only beings able to steal their powers and kill them. Later on, Eldrorrok showed up to confront Tarsa, and she grabbed the eye in his torso, where Eldrorrok actually winced in pain from the impact. When Eldrorrok tried to enact some sort of power on her, nothing happened, and she instead was able to escape, stating, "You're not as all-powerful as you think you are." Psychoperdelict even asked if Eldrorrok meant for her to get away, and Eldrorrok answered a little too quickly, of course. Even later on, as the Archons were discussing Tarsa's new pantheon that she was putting together, a community redraw where my design was actually chosen, Psychoperdelict began to question Eldrorrok's leadership and his bravery against going after Tarsa himself. Eldrorrok will most likely be the largest character for this fan art piece, as again, other than Tarsa, who was the biggest character in my all-female POPCROSS fan art, Eldrorrok imposes the biggest threat. Though we shall see if that's actually true as the series progresses. What will this horrific entity do when put into a corner? All we know is that it will not be good. If you like this ongoing series or my art, please feel free to like or comment on this video or subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're a fan of board games, I also release a quarterly update video about all the games that I've been playing so far this year. So if that sounds fun to you too, please feel free to stick around and subscribe to this channel. But anyway, if you got to the end of this video, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!